In kinder, we started with those very important ingredients called the elements of art. And the first one that we talked about was line. And with line, first we learned how to cut lines, and then how to draw lines, and then how to paint lines, and the right way to hold a paintbrush. And finally, we talked about how we can use lines to turn them into shapes to create a picture. And this, our kindergarten artists took the time and created these amazing crazy line lions. In first and second grade, we talked about color and symbols. Specifically, we talked about how colors can actually sometimes represent different emotions. We also talked about symbols and how symbols are pictures that represent things in our lives, such as a picture of a heart could represent love. Artists were asked to create a self-portrait, which is a picture of themselves. And then after they drew it, they were asked to think about different colors that they could use that would represent some of the emotions or feelings that they're having right now, and to think of some symbols that they could add either by collage or by drawing in the background or on their shirt. We talked about that element of art, space. Specifically, perspective, which is basically how we see. Third graders were challenged with trying to use perspective to change the way that people would view something in their artwork. So I'm going to let a couple of them explain to you more about their work.
And this is my Worm's Eye View project.
This assignment is called Worm's Eye View. It's when a worm or you are looking up at something tall.
You're aiming your cactus at this perspective point, which I put there, but erased after, and perspective lines to aim my cactus up there to that right point, to that exact point. And
I use this Sharpie, a twisty pencil. I use this paint kit. And I like this a lot because you could use imagination and you're able to draw something that's really cool.
And that is my Worm's Eye View. Thanks for watching.
talked about one of my favorite artists and art movements, Andy Warhol, who was a pop artist. Pop artists like to create art that had to do with things from everyday lives, like celebrities or even Campbell's soup. And Andy Warhol liked to use a lot of repetition and looking at things that he saw every day. We looked at some of his more famous pieces, but we also looked at some of his pen drawings, because he did a lot of contour line drawings of objects like onions that he saw every day. And that was sort of our inspiration to begin this project. The 4th and 5th graders were asked to choose a 3D item from their lives that was either special to them, that represented something about who they were, and that could tell the viewer something about themselves. And then they had to take that object and draw it 4 different times using different art materials. I am so impressed by the amount of creativity that these artists have come up with, and I would love for you to hear about some of the work that they did.
Hi, and today I am doing one object 4 times. This is the object I chose. Isn't it cute?
First question was, what is my object and why did I choose it? I chose a tennis ball because I love playing fetch with my dogs and catch with my dad and brother.
4 pictures of Rubik's Cubes. I like Rubik's Cubes because I like solving puzzles and playing with them.
It was supposed to be Andy Warhol colored inspired, and it's the back of my bike. So it kind of looks like the front, but it's supposed to be the back of my bike.
This one was my paint pens, actually. This one was done by markers. And then this one was with colored pencils. I think this one is my favorite out of all of them because it's got that like little inside piece and then the straw part that actually goes up. And it's also got that like side of the sticker, which was honestly really hard for me to figure out how to draw that.
Probably the hardest one was probably the watercolor because of all the details. And my favorite one is this Sharpie marker because I just really like it because it just looks exactly like my object, and it has a lot of details and stuff.
It's colorful. I love it. And the one that was challenging for me was the observational drawing because it has to be like realistic as possible, and that's not my task, or that's not my specialty.
My favorite is this one because I was able to take stuff around the house and add it all together. Thanks for watching my video. Bye!